I was sort of wanting to be like, Sam, what happened last time? Because lots of fun things happened with Riven last time. But then I realized that technically the person's turn to do the last time was mine.
Yep.
Whoops.
So, oh well. Um, yeah. So, last session we had a nice urban adventure, as I dubbed it in episode title. Um, the group visited Rydell, mostly for the first time. Riven got very, very drunk because big city, and then she had herself a nice little encounter with a certain dark elf lady. The group finished in Rydell, liquidated their gems, vast majority of their gems, because that's not a bad idea at all. Um, and then made their way up to Curacao, the dwarven city, to escort the dwarves home. Upon getting there, they realized that they were low on rations and had made their way up to start to do that and encountered what seemed to be some form of small bird person that was using many different voices and was apparently obviously a Kenku, and one of the voices was Khal's, leading Riven to
Just look very upset at it. Is just
yes.
staring at it.
So we open up with this session with uh
And all Riven is doing is staring at it.
Does Locke notice this? I should probably pull up my character sheet, shouldn't I? There
yeah.
That would be a very good thing.
This would be very obvious, um and the bird is getting the fruits and things he got from the vendor over here and is starting to actually, yeah, he would have been making his way to leave when he said thank you for your help. So
go.
staring at it would also constitute probably trying to follow it because he's paying very little attention to you and moving off.
Yeah, Riven's gonna follow.
Okay. And Locke's going to timidly follow the step behind Riven.
Yeah.
A little confused by what's going on, but fuck it, why not?
Uh yeah. Um Oak has actually moved seeing this encounter and still wanting to lead the dwarves to um, their home or whatever, because the dwarves are still with you guys, following you as you're going towards the little marketplace. And he sort of turns to Yong as if to say, do you want to take the dwarves home, or am I, or what are we doing?" And Yong's, because you guys have already made your way away, and Yong's like, be honest, Oak, you deal with the dwarves. I want to see what's going on over here. And Oak just nods his head, and admittedly, Yong dealt with the dwarves for the most part of this journey, and she just wants to be done with them.
Translation: you do the boring crap. I'm gonna go see where the fun's at.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, be
There's-
like, where
There's
are
that
they
side of
going?
it too. And so Oak has went off with the dwarves off this way somewhere to deal with their craziness, and Yong is following you guys as you're chasing off after the bird. So he is going off this way. You guys are giving chase. You make your way following the bird.
Riven's just
Are
like
you trying to
following.
do so
She's
stealthily, or are you just following the bird?
various words. I know I can words.
Yes.
I'm just following Riven, so if she's being stealthy, then I am. If not, then I'm just.
She is not being stealthy at all.
Okay. So, obviously not being stealthy, the bird is going to notice you and sort of, and then in a um, in a different voice than the previous set of voices that you heard, sort of tilt his head and go, yes, in a somewhat young, feminine-ish voice, not Khal's.
Riven's just sitting there going like fear, like puts her. She the look on her face is somewhat terrifying, but not overly scary. It's more like she's upset and she's like not happy about it.
Yes, so she has a very upset face, but she's not intending to be intimidating.
No, but it's like at like first glance may seem intimidating. That's the thing.
Yeah.
She's just going to ask the bird man being
Bird person. Bird person.
bird being about that voice you did in the market.
He just tilts his head at you. And you can see
you do
his.
it again?
You can see his sort of long beak and darker feathers, and the hood has sort of fallen away as he's started to move away. So yeah, very clearly see this a little over 5 foot tall bird person. So
Can
you ask.
speak those voices again?
Blinks.
Like repeat.
Apple, or apple, mango. I don't remember what the third fruit that I said was. I should have wrote that down. Anyway,
Yes, you should have. Just keep a list of all the phrases the sucker knows.
I should do that.
No, after that.
Thank you for your help. Let me try to change up that voice a little. Not very much, but because I'm not a voice actor. I need Brian to be a Kenku. That'd be fun. Kenku.
Hey, one of these days if we do another campaign, I just might.
That'd be awesome. Anyway.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you for your help is the Khal voice.
Riven just looks down and it's like, that's her voice.
Sort of tilts his head at you and makes another sort of curious bird noise.
Locke's kind of gonna look back and forth between them for a second, fidgeting nervously, and then sort of poke his head out a little bit and be like, can you tell us where you heard that?
Probably heard it a long time ago.
I mean, maybe. But...
The little bird person actually sort of sits there and thinks for a second, and then literally does a very quick face palm, or I guess feather. They don't have wings; they still have hands. So face palm, like duh. Follow me this way, please, and then goes off this way. And the follow me this way, please, is the same voice that said yes.
Well, I guess follow the Kenku.
Why?
He asked us to.
Well, you had basically
You don't know him?
Locke had asked. Locke had said specifically, what what was the wording
I
that
s-
Locke used?
I said, could you tell us where you heard it? Like if it was
Right.
within his vocabulary. Not up to me how he chose to interpret it, but that's how Locke meant
And
it.
basically, Riven was like replying to that, saying like he could have heard it a long time ago because
Right. And then he shook his
Khal's
head
not
at,
around.
he shook his head to say no, and then facepalmed and went off that way.
Asking us
And
to follow. So
and then had said a phrasing that would mean follow him.
Everyone's gonna look at Yong like, is this sketchy?
I mean, a little, but he shook
Locke's
his head.
curious. Locke's curious. He's just gonna follow the bird.
Yeah, he
Riven just like sighs and be like, okay, and just follows after Locke this time.
Young sort of before Riven goes off to follow Locke. She's like, I mean, a little, but he seems to know more about the voice than just where he heard it. I mean, I
It's impossible because that voice very much sounds like it belongs to my love that's not around anymore.
then I suggest we probably should follow the bird, and then Young is following the bird.
It leads us to another bird, I swear.
To another bird. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Where's
I
the
knew that was
bird?
coming. No, bad. Stop.
I only know that because of Team 4-Star, and that's all I know of that song.
I only know it because Family Guy. But anyway. So yeah, you follow the bird. Bird leads you
Riven's
off.
like the last to follow them, so it's like Locke, Yong,
Yeah.
and then Riven.
But I'm going to say that there's another building up near the quarry over here.
Yep.
Alright, so he goes in this way. And he goes into the building.
Okay. Locke sort of leans over Looney Tunes style and looks in.
Inside, the building is very clearly some sort of herbalist or like apothecary sort of a shop. Maybe even a potion shop of some variety. And behind the counter, you see a young half-elf female that just seems to be working the counter just as any other shopkeep would. And then the bird sort of turns as if he wasn't entirely sure if y'all were following, but he looks back and sees that you are at the very least. You're sort of peeking in the door, and he just sort of makes the gesture as if to say come here or come on, and then points to the shopkeeper.
Riven's outside being like, why are we at the apothecary? Is he gonna sell us drugs?
I sort of point at the half and say, Kenku's pointing at a person in here.
Is Riven in to where she can see inside, or not?
She's standing behind Yong.
No, yeah. All we can say is go inside. Maybe something significant to the. Maybe the apothecary person. Maybe this half elf knows this.
So the half elf is just sitting there looking at this bird like, what is going on?
The half elf has actually. It takes her a moment to realize because she's used to the bird sort of to the Kenku just sort of flitting in and then going out if he needs something because he seems to be regular visitor here. And she sort of looks up when she realizes that he has brought more people with him, and she's, oh, hello. And it is the same voice that was used prior, and Riven is now would be close enough to hear that voice from outside because the Though I seem like I whispered it, she said it loud enough for it to be heard outside the doorway.
Because that's where Locke is.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Khal's voice. You hear Khal's voice from inside.
Riven is very confused.
Locke will just
She's
kind
like,
of shakily wave and
get
say,
into there. Go.
"Ah!"
Move.
Okay, Locke kind of staggers it. I'm guessing Riven's pushing him.
Well, no, Riven's like, wait, did Yong go in?
Young's following you.
Because Riven was following after Yong. She's waiting after Yong.
Bird person.
The one person.
So Young just sort of shuffles past and goes on inside. And is confused because it's just an apothecary person and a potion, maybe a potion vendor, and it's a half elf person.
And Riven goes inside us eventually. They get out of the doorway.
Yes. Sure. Did Riven actually push Locke inside? After Young went past?
I'd love it if
Sure.
so, in character.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
in
sure,
character.
let's do that.
Staggers off to one side.
Inside you go.
What do I see? It's like-
You
She like looks around and just be like, glances at the birds like, why did you bring us to a apothecary?
you see it. I mean, I don't think
It's
Riven.
still pointing. It's just like point.
Yeah, it is this point. He just points towards the little the potion vendor or apothecary and
She like looks, blinks a little bit, and then looks back at the bird like, it's just a. Looks back.
yes, and Khal behind the counter is, Scout, what are you up to? And the little bird person, apparently named Scout, is just shrugs his shoulders. I'm sorry. Did you folks need something?
Riven's just staring. She's not moving. It seems like she's not even breathing. She's in disbelief.
Locke will quietly step out because evidently this is not something he wants to be intruding on.
She's in the doorway.
Riven, you're blocking the door.
I guess you could squeeze by.
No, okay. I'll just stand over here.
Next to the bird person, who is now
Next to the bird.
who is now going through the different wares on the shelf. Although he's listening in and sort of turns every so often as conversation comes up, and Young sort of waves her hand in front of Riven's face and is like, Earth to Riven. Is everything okay?
Riven like slaps the hand out of the way. Like,
Okay.
I guess she goes up to the counter. Khal's behind the counter.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
It's like she. Hi.
Is there something I can help you with?
How did you? Riven
No
is...
idea how to compose herself.
Exactly. She's like going between, oh my god, it's a ghost. Oh my god, I'm going crazy. Or, how did you get over here? What is going on? She's overwhelmed, just like.
Perhaps it would be a good idea for you to sit down for a moment. Maybe get your bearings. And she points off to the corner where she has like a little stool set to the side for when she's mixing potions mixing potions.
She's not even looking at the chair. She's just like, I thought you were dead.
Huh?
How'd you? Why have you been here the whole time?
As far as I know, yes.
Why didn't you go to UK?
I'm sorry, who are you?
Pressing F.
Okay, real quick, out of character. What does pressing F stand for?
Press F for respect. Pay respects.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's this joke where, like, if someone just gets dealt a major blow, it's like, just press F, you're paying your respects.
Okay.
It's about as useful as sending them your prayers, but it's a nice sentiment. Kind of a mocking sentiment, but it's still a sentiment.
What? What do you mean? Who am I? It's me, Riven. Don't you remember me, Khal? It's only been a year.
She sort of sits back on the sort of wooden chair that she has been sitting on behind the counter and just sort of seems to be lost in thought for a moment.
Riven is like staring like confused, but also kind of shocked that she doesn't remember, I think. And then she fumbles around and she takes her necklace off and holds it out. I mean, this is yours.
Did that
Holds it out.
she she sees the necklace and then she sort of just like as if she's now realizing something, she sort of looks around the counter for a moment and then pulls out a drawer that's on the other side where she is, just under the counter, and pulls out a necklace with the same symbol on it. Another unicorn necklace. And so you know of Miliki too, then?
Yeah, you told me all about her. I got this off of a goblin. And I repaired it, but it's yours. This one is, at least.
She sort of holds at her head for a moment.
You really don't remember me, do you?
No, I don't. I very much know that I should, but don't. Are you going to be staying here? Staying in town for some amount of time?
Riven, like, she's visibly hurt right now, and she, kind of takes a step back. Originally she sets the necklace on the counter and be like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I should probably go. Sorry to intrude. She shoots the bird like kind of like a mistrusting, glaring look before heading out the door.
Okay. And Khal was like still holding at her head and was not meeting anyone's gaze, let alone Riven's, and then she doesn't actually look up until Riven's out the doorway. And then she mumbles something somewhat softly, and those that are still in the room may roll perception. If they wish.
I will roll perception even though I have no bonus. That's a 5.
That's Yong. Roll perception.
So which house is the by the way, which house is the tavern? That
Big
Right,
black
right
one just
staying
below.
Right
Okay.
across the street.
Whoop.
9. Yay. Okay.
No one notices.
Nope.
No
No one
here,
notices.
removable.
So Young sort of looks to Locke as Riven heads out the doorway. And Khal is just like not really paying much attention to you guys unless one of you two directly engage her. She's just going to be sort of lost in thought behind the counter. She actually does a few things that are sort of like, it's almost as if it's on muscle memory or she's on autopilot. There's some things that she needed to take care of behind the counter that she's still going in and doing, but she's very much not aware of the environment around her. And
so if that's the case, I'll have Locke sort of clear his throat, like sort of get her attention.
yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've been traveling with Riven for some time now. I don't know who you were to her, but if it's not too much to ask, what do you remember? Just so I can relay that to her. She's clearly shook and I'm a little worried.
It's very foggy. I'm trying to collect those thoughts myself, but I do know, and the Myliki holy symbol is still on the counter from the one that she had from behind the counter. It's still, hers is still on the counter, and I do know that Myliki saved me. Brought me back? She says as if it's a question, as if it's not really a question to you directly, but like just in general. I know that there was a time before then. But I don't... I was a hunter. I worked with hunters. There'll be things that I see that will sometimes spark a memory. If Riven may know some of these things, perhaps she can help me remember.
I'll pass that along. I've intruded long enough. I'll get out of your shop.
I'll kind of shuffle out.
And who are you?
I'll turn.
My name's Locke. This is Yong.
I'll sort of point a thumb over at her.
Locke, you notice that Yong is just sort of watching Khal very intently. Almost, it's actually a very similar sort of stare slash glare that Riven was giving the bird person earlier. Sort of a very, like, non-threatening but dark look, if that makes sense.
Intense.
Yeah.
Young, are you going to space out on me too?
No. She shakes her head. We should go catch up to Riven. I have the sinking suspicion she may drink herself silly again. So,
You don't know where I went.
we can
Young's
assume.
taking a guess.
We can assume. Alright, I'll give Khal one more nod and then hurry off to head for the tavern.
Taking a shot in the dark that might be where Riven went.
Pretty much just being hopeful.
So, and I mean, even if she's not there, you need to go to the inn anyway to make reservations for a room or whatever. So, and also you know that Riven can very much take care of herself usually. So,
Alright.
who knows? You make your way back down to the tavern. Riven, you've made your way into the tavern. So, what you doing? We're going to sort of drop it back a couple of minutes for their conversation with Khal. But you made your way into the tavern. The barkeep is a male dwarf.
Can I stop you for just a second to ask the name of the town we're currently in?
Kirakal.
I'm doing my notes. Okay, I'm doing my notes really quick.
Kirakal, Dwarven-ish city. Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks.
So, the barkeep behind the counter is a dwarf, and he sort of gives you a nod as you come in. Doesn't say anything, just gives you a nod.
She goes and sits at the bar.
What sort of expression is on her face right now?
Kind of staring off into space kind of expression.
Could you perhaps use a drink, lass? I cannot do it. Irish.
Very good one.
I can do that. Finishes cleaning off a glass. And starts to prepare for you a drink. Maybe not necessarily his strongest outright, but it's up there.
Okay.
And he sets down a mug beside you. And actually, soon after, he sets a second.
How much are these mugs going for, by the way?
We'll say a gold apiece. You look like someone who may be needing a few.
Okay. She starts drinking.
Hmm.
That's it. Simple as that.
She starts drinking. Soon after she's into her drinks a little bit, Yong and Locke make their way back inside of the tavern and see her sitting at the bar with probably already maybe 2 or 3 drinks at this point.
Alright.
Yong's sort of... well, we sort of figured that right, didn't we?
You did. I wasn't going to assume. And Locke will kind of slowly meander his way over towards where Riven is.
Young will actually sort of hang back a little bit, but she go ahead and lets Locke walk up to her.
All right. All right. Does Riven react at all as I approach?
Nope,
I'm not making.
she's focusing on drinking. That's it.
All right. I'll take a seat next to hers. Anything?
Nope.
All right.
How are you holding up?
Where is Riven carrying Hollis, or is he next to her?
Hollis is just sitting next to her.
Okay.
All right.
So, how are you holding up?
Hmm.
Not bad, huh?
Don't want to talk.
Fair enough. But just so you know, Khal does. Maybe it'll strike up some of her memories. You never know. That's what she's hoping. She said, at least.
I'll just get some water for myself from the innkeeper.
He set you up with a glass or two of water.
All right. And I'll just sit there for a while and just be an ear if Riven wants to talk. Until such time as the group gets a new objective, that is what he's devoting himself to for the moment.
Let's see. She is going to drink to her limit.
Oh yeah. I mean, she could very easily. She could, since he said a gold apiece, she could very easily toss some dwarf a platinum piece and have 10. So.
Sure, why not? Let's do that. Let's just make it easy.
All right.
Which, in him saying that it's a gold apiece and you pass him a platinum, he's, already in mode to give you a couple extra drinks. Both of you make perception checks for me. Riven's not drunk yet. Riven's not drunk yet, so you can have.
Yeah, until I reach number 7.
Yeah.
13.
16.
All right. Okay. Locke doesn't, but Riven sees it. You sort of,
Wait.
Hmm?
Locke sees it?
Or Riven sees it, but Locke doesn't. Sorry, I said
Okay.
that backwards.
There we go.
Sorry. Riven sees that Yong had came into the tavern, and as you started going into some of your drinks, Yong didn't bother wander close, and Yong actually leaves the tavern. And if if Locke turns to look, Yong just seemingly just vanishes from the tavern.
All right. He will refrain from making comment on it for the time being.
But yeah, you could probably very easily get into your 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I don't necessarily see Riven nursing said drinks, so she's probably going through them fairly quickly.
Yep. So.
And it's about a
I should start
mid-afternoon when you get
rolling
up here,
con.
so.
Yeah. I guess I should start rolling con.
Yep.
Was it con saving?
Con save, yep.
17. So she passed her 8th drink.
Yep.
What's the DC on these checks?
As she goes from drink to drink, the DC would get higher, but it's not water, so it's not 20 right out of the gate. So
Fair enough. Not 20 on the first sip of a single shot glass.
yeah.
So I guess do it again for number 9.
Yep. There we go.
Oh no, that's a 4. 4.
That is indeed a 4.
She sits there and like chugs it and sets it down like really hard on the counter,
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of it like kind of splashes out.
So did Riven not drink the whole glass and get drunk off of that, so that when she slammed it down, there was still some left to slush out, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
like she was just sitting there like kind of hammering them back, and then she just like she hit that wall and be like, okay,
Now it's time to slow down.
yes.
Locke just takes a sip of his water, impressed and mildly terrified.
Are you still somewhat close to her at the bar?
I'm same bar stool. We're bar stool next to hers. Yep, I have not moved.
All right.
Okay. Where'd Yong go?
Y'all don't know. You can't see outside.
When is Oak coming back?
Good question, because I get the feeling this is not going to turn into a conversation anytime soon.
Yeah.
Locke's
For the
waiting,
moment,
Riven is drowning her sorrows.
it's just you two.
Can we cut to see what Oak is doing?
It's an NPC. That's not how that shit works. At least I hope it's not.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, technically not. So, I mean, if you want to sort of cut up the bit with Riven for a bit, we can say that the camera sort of is, or the show itself sort of focuses on what's going on with Oak for a bit, but it's not, you know,
We
It's
wouldn't
just
know
him
it,
wandering
so.
around for a bit. Anyway.
it's not consequential, because it would be him interacting with the dwarves in the blacksmith shop for figuring out what sort of reward we're getting for the escort mission and all that sort of stuff. You will figure out the details of that later, but he's with them.
To pass the time, I'm gonna have
well.
Locke mage hand Hollis.
He's
Just
just
to
like
pass-
rolling
just-
around.
Just to pass the time until Riven does something or something interesting happens.
Yeah. How many are there any other patrons in the?
In the middle of the afternoon, getting closer to like maybe 6, not so much. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But this tavern does
Riven-
look like the type that would get more people when it gets closer to, evening and like 8 or 9. So
Okay. Riven is going to drink her 10th drink, I guess. This is the last one.
you did 7. You did 8 was the 17 and 9 was the 4. So yeah, this would be your last one.
Yes. Now, do I have advantage or disadvantage since I'm drunk?
You are technically already drunk, so you would have disadvantage on the con save. Not that I don't think you can get drunker, but still.
You can. It's called blacking out.
Well, yeah. You know your limit. You would need much more than. Oh, look, a 4.
4!
Anyway,
The 4 awakens.
That is so funny. Oh yeah, she is.
she is.
She's
Border-
probably
border-
not gonna
Yeah, you're borderline like wasted at this point. You're not passing out, but you're probably, as you were about to say, you're probably not going to remember any of this.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt as hell when I wake up in the morning and try to remember.
Or
Yeah.
both.
That too. So yeah,
At least you have an oak to get rid of a hangover.
Nah. Locke's just gonna look at like the now 10 empty mugs, raise an eyebrow, give a low whistle.
I wouldn't know, but from where I stand, that's impressive.
This is nothing.
Well, at least you're talking now.
I'll take another sip of water.
She's just like looking at him like pansy.
What?
Drinking water. Should actually have water.
I think I'll pass. I saw what happened to you, and what little dignity I have, I'd like to hold on to.
Fine. She gets up.
And does she promptly fall over?
Hmm.
Does she?
Does she?
I mean, nah, not really. You didn't, unless you got up super fast.
Well, she got up normally and stuff, and she's like super, super drunk.
So
Eh.
not steady on her feet.
Roll me a
Yes.
roll me a dex save.
Uh-oh.
Do I? Disadvantage?
Disadvantage, yes.
Oh, God.
9. I trip over my stool.
Um,
I stopped mage handing Hollis and let him react to that as he sees fit.
okay. So, I want you to do me a favor, Sam.
Okay.
Roll for me a D2.
Was it /roll?
Yeah, you can do that. Or you can do the little dice. I think the little dice command can do it too. Alternately, you could roll a D4 from the dice command if you want.
There, 1.
Okay. Locke, roll me a dex save.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Ah, jeez. 10?
Okay. So, Riven, you get up from the stool. Not necessarily immediately, but you do very, very much lose your footing as you get up. Fall to the left, fall towards Locke, who just barely gets out of the way before your much larger form crashes down on him on the side.
So I'm still my stool, and now Riven's on the floor.
Riven would have probably attempted to grab at something.
Yeah, you did. Which was technically the stool that Locke was sitting on.
Oh, okay, so I'm on the floor hugging it.
Kinda, yeah.
Locke refrains from saying that looks adorable.
Uh-huh.
I'm just imagining a half-orc snuggling up to a bar stool. Like, for some reason, that is oddly cute.
She's not snuggling up to it. She's just like holding on to it, and she's just like.
I mean, she would immediately... She would very slowly then get up, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and it'd be like, you watch Hollis.
I proceed to mage
Watch
hand
this
Hollis
Nike
before...
boy.
Yep, I mage hand Hollis that he's rolling on the floor and then say,
Don't worry, he's not going anywhere. What about you?
Going for a walk.
Are you sure that's wise? You're, wobbly.
She growls at him like, of course I'm fine. Of course it's a good idea.
I will awakened mind and say in a voice not mine if possible, boo! in a
Riven like just like turns around and be like, who's there?
Yeah, you're not okay.
Oh my gosh. I
What?
know there should be a drunken comeback, and I'm just trying to think so hard.
Uh-huh.
And that's the indicator of a drunken comeback. You try to come up with something witty, and all that comes out is gibberish.
She just basically calls you a pansy again in Elvish.
And I reply in Elvish,
At least I'm not drunk and stumbling over my own words.
and then take a condescending sip of water. Yes, motherfucker, I know Elvish.
Well, yeah, duh. She knows.
And then I'll say in Sylvan,
Silly person.
Well,
do you know Sylvan?
nope.
Okay, so I just said something that you don't know what it is.
Whatever. Right back at you, you.
Oh, thank you for noticing.
And then Riven goes
Wait.
outside. I don't think Locke's able to stop her.
No, but I'll finish off the water. Leave a couple silver on the counter.
Sorry if the bar stool's ruined it all.
And then quickly shuffle out after her.
Where are you going, Riven?
She's going for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
And Locke will just kind of follow along behind, keep Hollis with him, and just make sure she stays out of trouble. Like, I'm keeping like at least 30 or 40 feet distance. So that she can have some space, but also so I can keep an eye and make sure she doesn't do anything stupid.
All right.
It's like once she's outside and stuff and walks a little bit, she stops and she takes her time, like looking in different directions.
Make a perception check.
I'm assuming with disadvantage because drunk.
Disadvantage, yeah.
Well, from now on, I'm just gonna roll always disadvantage.
Uh-huh.
That works.
12.
All right. Continue.
She points in one direction and be like, "This is a good direction," and then does a 180 and goes in the opposite direction.
All right. So which way is she going?
She is going this way.
All right.
All right.
This town isn't gated off, so she can just follow through these trees off to the side over here.
Or just follow the road or whatever she's doing.
Yeah, no, she just she goes straight and goes off of a road. If something's in her way, she goes around it.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Poof, into the trees she goes.
Oh dear.
So
And she's very loudly started singing.
very loudly
So
starts to...
any chance of her being stealthy in a forest? Not there.
Yeah.
All right, this is becoming more and more unsettling as it goes on.
What? She's going for a walk.
Into the forest outside of town.
And?
There's like a bear or something.
All right.
If there's a bear, you're drunk and I'm squishy.
Yeah.
And we're down half our party at the moment because it's just us out here, so.
Alright. So you continue making your way off. I'm not going to bother giving you a map right at the moment, but you've essentially found
Fine.
a little forest clearing area.
And she just like looks around it, kind of walks around it, around in it for a bit.
Alrighty.
So yeah, she's singing, just walking around. It's really weird. It's Elvish. It's a very uncommon song that talks about the cycle of the sun and moon. And there's these odd pauses in her singing, which would probably lead to the fact is that it's mostly sung as a duet. And basically from the words that she's singing from the point of view of the sun.
Okay. Me raised by elves, would I know this song?
Chance, since it's uncommon, most likely.
That's all read in this case.
You could roll history, see if you know it.
All right. I only have a +1 bonus in that. 11.
You've heard it before. When you heard it, it wasn't necessarily specifically a duet, but you've heard it before.
All right. I'll take note of that and just for the hell of it, whenever Riven stops to let the other person go, I'll just quietly, as quiet as possible, hum the other side under my breath, so as not to disturb, but just to give myself something to do while I'm keeping tabs on her.
What about Hollis?
He's just kind of following. I just kind of have him at my side at the moment. It's ultimately up to Dalred what he does right now, so I'm just trying to keep him from running up and molesting the crap out of you. Or something. I don't know. I don't know what this dog's gonna do if I just let him run over. So.
Right. He's basically following you, but keeping his distance. Along with you. He's a bit worried about Mama, but he's not gonna come and bother Mama necessarily.
All right.
So, when she's done singing it, she's going to stop in the middle of the clearing. And she's going to look around to see if she's been followed.
Did you guys try to stealth? Did you and Hollis try to stealth to follow her?
I wasn't going out of my way to be seen, but I wouldn't necessarily say I was doing my damnedest to be super obvious. Like, let's say just for the sake of this, that we can just use like a passive stealth check, which for me would just be a 12, and that would be the number to beat.
Yeah.
She doesn't see you.
Okay, so you don't know I'm here.
Nope. Locke, roll for me. Locke, roll for me perception.
No bonus in perception. I need to do something about that. 4! Fuck!
What you doing, Riven?
She basically yells out my leaky or whoever's voice I've been hearing. Really loudly.
And
like
sort of
up towards the sky.
Drunken
Very drunkenly.
thing. Okay.
Now here comes the roll.
Yep. Okay.
Anything happens?
Huh?
She's like calling out like, can you hear me? Am I loud enough for you?
So this is sort of a lightly forested clearing that you're in, and as you yell, there's not really any kind of response for a second, and then you yell the second time of the "Can you hear me?" and there is a sudden gust of wind that hits all the trees, and it's almost as if you pulled a sort of a storm caller thing, and the wind and trees all around you sort of blow your hair back. And Locke, how close are you to Riven? Like 30, 40 feet away? Yeah.
30, 40 feet, somewhere in there.
Okay. So for you, you see the same wind as if she almost called it, but beyond that, you don't see the rest of what is about to be described here. Riven, you find yourself, after the wind sort of blows past you, which you're slightly drunk, so I'm not
gonna... windy. You're just an airbag.
Yeah. And
that's it? Just wind? That's all you give me?
As you say that, you're sort of still looking around in the clearing, and you spy in the clearing a very, it is very clearly spirit in nature because you can very clearly see through it.
Oh dear God.
And
We're
it,
gonna get
it
attacked by ghosts.
and it is a white, um, sort of spectral, not skeletal, but spectral, white unicorn that just stares at you with these very pretty blue eyes.
Everyone just looks around and just like, you give me a unicorn? Like points and like kind of gestures in there with both hands in the direction of it, still like looking up, and I'm like, what?
And of course, Locke isn't saying any of this, right?
Right. You don't see a unicorn. You just hear Riven say that.
And just making weird gestures.
I will whisper down to Hollis.
I think your mom's going crazy.
Hollis would slightly whimper, but like kind of acknowledge, like, maybe.
I mean, Hollis could say something, and I would translate that as Oak, but Oak's not here. So,
Riven just sighs heavily and just like, I don't need a unicorn.
you wish to speak to me?
She's like looking around and be like, show yourself.
It should be noted that you heard the voice as if someone was speaking to you. And the sound, though it's a little bit harder for you to get in your drunken haze, the sound is coming from the unicorn. And as you say, show yourself, the unicorn just sort of taps their hoof against the grass. Spectral,
Riven's
yes,
just
but can still affect the grass that's at her feet.
Riven's just like kind of side-eyeing the unicorn. Just like slowly walks around, kind of like leaning to one side to see if try to see around it. Very confused.
You know my symbol. You should expect this.
Yeah, but I'm talking to a... Do you do this a lot?
No,
Did
I don't.
Unicorn?
Only with those I think are important.
Important. Yeah, right.
You don't think you and Khal are important?
Oh, Khal, maybe. But me? No, I'm just cursed by the fucking fates.
Locke is still hearing Riven's side of this conversation.
Very
I
much.
figured.
How do you believe you are cursed, Riven?
Oh, let's see. I watched my mother get killed by a bugbear. Any remnant of a family that I had left in my hunting party, Edmund, get killed by each one of them fall one by one in front of me at the Revel. And then I guess I thought I lost Khal like a year ago after she pushed me through her tree warping thing. And now I come to this town. I hear a voice. And it's this fucking bird. This bird being. And stuff. Mimicked her voice. Okay, so maybe I thought I was going crazy. So I followed the bird. He did it again. Not crazy. And then the bird showed us to this place. And there's a woman. You know. With the face of Khal, but she doesn't know who I am. So why does the fates torment me so? With all this reminder of things that are dear to me.
The fates aren't tormenting you. You are being given strength.
Strength? Bull, I'm being... I was being reminded of all of my past giving me strength. It hurts me so much. You know, I'm afraid to go traveling with this group I'm in. Going on adventures with them. Because I'm afraid if I sit there and start to care for them, they'll sit there and die as well. And that's just more people to be... Riven, like, just like, is frustrated and starts pacing.
You remember what Khal told you many times.
I don't
That
know, it
life-
depends. What?
That life is about balance.
Yeah, I
You have
remember.
you have suffered a great deal bad things. But in time, you'll do great things. Would you have went and fought a spider that could disappear, a goblin camp?
Goblin camp, yes. Little beings and they're attacking my village and taking everything I loved.
I brought Khal back because she wasn't done. Neither are you. You have to...
What, and I live with the fact that she doesn't remember anything of me?
She doesn't, but you do. You can
Yeah,
bring those memories
do.
back.
How in the hell am I supposed to bring those memories back?
Go
Or
for
I
it.
have to sit there and look in her eyes and see that of no recognition whatsoever.
She remembers
It
pieces.
hurts.
Don't think it hurts her too?
I don't know.
You both are going to be champions for me. Both are going to do very great things. But in order to get that strength, in order to
We
do
have
those...
to keep going through pain.
Not anymore. Save for you getting her memories back. And promise that the pain of the past is in the past. Don't dwell on it. Exist in the here and now.
Yeah, and here and now is the killer of Edmund and those other those hobgoblin leaders are still out there and stuff. That's the here and now, and that's still pain being brought up from my past.
Don't blame yourself for what the hobgoblins are doing, do you?
We couldn't stop them. No, I intend on getting my full revenge.
I can help you.
How can you help me?
The magic that Khal had. Where do you think she got it from?
Nature. That's what all druids get their powers from, is nature. They
Eh.
don't exactly need a patron.
Maybe not. But if druids get their power from nature, what sort of being am I? The unicorn shakes her mane, and the trees shake. Which, Locke, you see the trees shake.
Right.
She's very quiet. Kind of not exactly looking at the unicorn, and it's just basically like a cold. Like kind of a cold shoulder kind of thing going on, but she's not actually turned away from the unicorn.
Right.
Not very trusting at the moment. I couldn't be there for Khal, so what makes you think I would be here now for her? She's referencing to when Khal had pushed her through the portal thing,
Mm-hmm.
and Khal fell, and she wasn't there to help Khal defend. She kind of blames herself for not being there, and that's why Khal fell.
The goblin attack. Khal's death. By no means your fault, Riven.
She probably wouldn't have died if I was there with her. If I just held on to her before she pushed me through.
He was protecting you.
Yeah, and I should have been there protecting her as well. For all I know, this Khal is probably not the same Khal that I know, since she doesn't exactly remember. And, things change over time.
An unfortunate side effect of her resurrection. I can assure you, this is your Khal.
I don't know if I'll fully believe that yet.
Can't force you to. I can only say, spend more time with her. Help her remember.
And go through the pain once again of the past.
Remember the good times. All the hunting
Yeah, that's the painful part. I think this conversation is probably coming to an end now.
I can't force you to do anything. But I can tell you it wasn't your fault. And you will sort of stamp her hoof again and disappear.
It wasn't my fault, it was damn goblins falling out. She just grumbles and I guess start heading back into town.
And now you would notice Locke, because he's sort of in the pathway of town. Unless he decided he wanted to hide when he saw all the nature weirdness.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
If not, Riven is just gonna sit there and stare him down.
I'm gonna make a stealth roll in here. That's a 21.
Roll perception, Riven.
6.
At least it wasn't a 4.
Yeah, good point.
It couldn't have been a 4,
It's
not
not
for
enough.
perception.
Damn.
Alright. So, Locke, you watch Riven for a moment as she sort of heads back to town.
I wanna
And,
dump about 30
hmm?
feet ahead and then resume following.
Yeah. So, as you make it back sort of to the edge, sort of the cusp of town again, you see Yong. She's at the edge of town at this tree, like right here.
Riven in her drunken stupor just like glances at Yong and keeps walking.
Make me a perception check, Riven. With disadvantage, of course.
14.
14. Okay. You feel better? Said from Yong.
She growls and then just makes her way into the tavern.
No. Wait a minute. Yong will actually,
Will she actually attempt to stop Riven?
um,
Like this, I wish I knew he'll hold person.
actually, yeah.
Okay.
Should stop you from heading into the tavern itself. Riven.
You know Riven is going to attempt to keep going.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to make a grapple check or something?
Well, first, yeah, roll strength, I guess.
6. She can be easily stopped.
Um, let me roll. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, you were in a drunken stupor before, and when, you were sort of pulling at Yong when she was leading you to the brothel and things.
Because of Kitty.
Yes, because of Kitty. You get away, but for a very split second, this grip seems different. Something off about
How?
it. There's not as much strength behind it as what you're used to seeing from Yong.
Okay. That is slightly curious, but what'd she do to me? Did she do anything? Just
She tried to stop you, and you got away, and then she's just... Come on. You've drunken yourself silly in that tavern already. You don't need to go inside. Let's go for a walk.
I already been for a walk.
With someone or by yourself?
By myself.
Rocking that 21 stealth check.
Doesn't he have to make another stealth check since Yong is now in the...
No, she'd have to roll perception higher than 21 is how I would do it.
Yeah.
Okay, does she see him?
So she looks out towards she sort of looks for a moment towards the trees. And Locke, she actually does see you, and she looks towards Locke and says, "Come on, a little help, maybe." And Locke, roll for me insight.
Okay, insight. All right. Insight. Luckily, I have a +3 in that. So let's see here. That's a fucking 10.
Okay.
Like,
But yeah,
you get that
Young's
she's trying
calling.
to get at something, but you don't know what.
Young calls for you to come out and join them.
Like as soon as like Locke realizes she's on, he like does like the thumb over throat, like shut the fuck up gesture, but then she calls it fucking. And then I'll do the clever thing and I'll let Hollis go like, go to mom, go to mom, go to mom. Walking back.
All right.
Like, Riven's like, who help you with what? Hollis,
Hollis just comes over to you.
you're supposed to be being watched by Locke.
Sort of
I knew I
whimpers
can't
and
trust him.
sort of looks at sort of whimpers and looks towards the trees where he just came from.
I'm gonna change my location. I'm gonna move a bit. like just far enough that it well, sort of gesturing at Young like shut the fuck up gesture. like I am not here.
Young rolls her eyes. He's in the trees over there.
Who's in the trees? Oh, Locke?
Yeah, in the trees over there.
Why is he in the trees?
I don't
Taking a
know.
piss.
Was that
I'm
actually
sure
said in
Bathrooms in the
character?
building?
They smelled like shit more than I wanted.
Would this be a deception check?
I mean, if you want to.
I am trying to lie, so that's a 24.
All right then.
That's gonna be, yeah, so shall be easy for you. 14? Yeah.
Okay, so you believe that I was
She's
just
like-
pissing on a tree.
And it's just like, fair.
Have a good walk.
Yes.
Hmm.
Now it's her turn to be deceptive.
Of course, rolling that won't even affect me. I know it's bullshit. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
14 for deception. Does Young believe her?
All these many rolls. Ooh.
Ooh.
That's always a good sound.
Red alert.
Okay, look. You don't need to go into the tavern right now. We can go for a walk off this way. Sure, you can come too. She
Why?
looks at you, Locke.
Why can't we go into a tavern?
Is something wrong in the tavern?
Yeah, is there?
Crickets start chirping.
He's the barkeep in there is out of. Okay, fine. Young snaps her fingers, and what you have before you is not Young.
Oh shit. Alright, who is it then?
It appears to be someone who looks. Bip.
Oh, Riven's gonna pull out her axes. And be like,
Yes, there. That person. There we go. I was trying to be friendly and not cause any kind of a scene in the middle of town, of all things. But
yeah.
I guess you're just
made
too.
a really big mistake, buddy.
And you're drunk.
So I can probably still kick your ass.
Who are you and what do you want?
I was merely wanting to ascertain what your secret was. Were you just stealing from other places? Were you collecting that over the course of time? I was merely sent here because the two of you decided that you were going to liquidate roughly didn't even tell me how much it was. A lot of gems.
Oh, right.
Riven's gonna hold an axe blade up to them and be like,
I do not
"Who
wish.
sent you?"
I do not wish
We
to.
ask the question right now.
I
Simple
do not.
answers. Who sent you?
The bank, of course. Who do you think?
Bank.
I work for them. When there's someone that's particularly of interest, they send me out as a scout.
Ah, so you're the one that's been following us.
Yes, which is why I would like to not see that axe hit my face, please.
It's not moving yet.
You know, you could have just asked us politely as a person instead of disguising yourself as one of our friends.
Yeah. And I'm sure she's gonna have some wonderful questions why you chose her to be disguised as.
Perhaps.
So,
But
shall we go into the tavern then?
fine. Do that.
After you.
He will make his way into the tavern.
Riven follows closely behind.
Walk shortly after.
Inside the tavern, we
Lasted
find a
for
Yong.
longer than a minute.
Yay.
I wish Charm Person lasted for longer than a minute.
Hey, Yong.
She's been drinking a little bit. Not. She's only on like her fourth or fifth, but yeah.
I'll point at the guy.
Found the guy that's been following us.
Oh, really?
He decided to play charades as you.
What?
I don't know either.
Well, okay. He's a little short. He couldn't necessarily play charades as Oak, but
You could have also
Me?
just bypassed playing charades.
Yeah, you.
okay. So did you find out what he wanted?
Yeah, apparently the bank sent him to follow us.
That makes sense.
I thought I was paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
I am only doing my job, Yong. Perhaps you would understand. Wait a minute. That's why you chose me. Get out of here. I'm gonna knock you into next week. And you know I can't.
No. Don't let him get. No more answers. Why is the bank so paranoid?
Well, because I imagine that's actually because they're a bank. They deal in money. Money is like the root of the love for money is the root of all evil, and they're banks. They love money. So there you go.
Yes. So we just gave them a whole bunch of gems that they can probably sell at a higher price. They make back more money than they gave us.
They can only do that so quickly without ruining the market in Rydell.
Well, that's not exactly our problem.
But you know what? This is Yong speaking, sort of looking to the guy, and she's... Something tells me that there's a lot more to it than that. Isn't there? Okay, fine, sure, maybe.
Can I
Whatever.
suddenly cast Charm Person on him so that he's more susceptible to this conversation?
Sure, if you want to.
I will do that. So he needs to beat a 14 Wisdom save. DC 14 Wisdom save.
By the way, this person is, by all accounts, a half-elf, much like you, Locke. So much like you also, he has advantage against charm.
Ah, Jesus, alright.
So...
Well, it's still worth a shot.
There we go.
Shit! Damn it!
Ooh.
Nice try, kid. No.
Well, Locke will just kind of cross his arms over his chest and say,
Look, I'm just trying to speed this crap along, so if you could just cut to the chase, that would be swell.
You know what? No. He's going to make the leave, actually.
Riven stands in the doorway.
Yeah, she does kind of stand in the doorway, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alexis, like, kind of over here.
Where do you think you're going?
Look, can you just... Are we being accused of a crime or not?
Not entirely. I was asked to tell you, and then I saw who was among you and got curious myself. Realistically, I should have left as soon as Miss Halfwork over there was sharpening her blade and scared me. But, and this is Yong. And you will leave me alone? If they'll let me go, yes.
We'll let you go if you go back to the bank and tell them that we...
The gems we acquired were acquired perfectly legally.
Yes, through adventuring, okay?
Adventuring. Seems effective.
Hmm.
I will give them that information.
Good, and hopefully that can be the end of it. None of us really wants to deal with bureaucracy, do we? We've all got more important shit to do with our time.
Can I roll an insight
Perfect.
check to see if I can tell whether or not he really means that? You know, like if he seems all right with just letting it be that.
Yeah,
All right.
go ahead.
That's
Fuck's sake, it's a 10.
He seems on the up and up.
the fact that you had to roll for that immediately makes me skeptical. But all right.
Players
Either
can
way,
know
Riven-
things that characters do not, so.
Yes. Riven will step out of the doorway. And then she's gonna be like, if we see you again, I'm afraid that bank is gonna lose.
Remember, she is drunk.
Thanks, Locke. It's trying to be intimidating.
Well, what you're being is stupid, no offense.
Get the hell out of here.
Yep, away he goes.
Alright, and then I'll turn over to Yong.
Were you two acquainted?
At one time, yes.
Well, you can tell us about that if you want. In the meantime,
What time is it?
8 or 9 or so. It's fairly late.
All right, so it's like Sun's already set. Yeah, I kind of figured because like I was imagining like when Riven was having her talk with fucking goddess lady that it was nighttime, like moonlight visual kind of thing.
It was getting close to nighttime, yeah. The sun was setting, that sort of thing.
all right, let's go ahead and get ourselves some room for the night, yeah? Sound good, everyone? Also, where's Oak?
Oak. Yong is, like, nursing at the cup that she was sitting with. The beer and the ale that she had been sitting and sipping on. Oak left town. Wandered off.
Why did he leave?
Will he be back?
He told me to tell you that you shouldn't follow him.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I know. He wouldn't tell me why he was leaving, which worries me. But
Yeah, no kidding. Worries me too.
I know something's up. Very out of character for him.
Well, are we going to follow him or respect his wishes?
Do we have a leader of this group?
Just kind of had consensus up until now. I've mostly been deferring to Riven because I'm helping her with her thing.
And the thing is, we can't deal with my thing if we're down a party member.
Yeah, we definitely kind of need our healer, so...
That's not. Oh, crap. God damn it, Oak.
Okay, what about this suggestion? Let's get some rooms for the night. Riven, you go and rest. No offense or anything, but you're drunk. You're not going to be very useful at the moment. And Yong and I can do just a quick peripheral look around the town, pick up a trail maybe, and then we can follow it in the morning once we're all rested up.
That seems pretty smart. You're of the... She's sort of like trying to find words in your general direction, Locke, and you're a magic-y sort. Do you have one of those like call for a person who's far away sort of spells? Maybe we can catch him before he gets too far off.
I don't have any spells that amplify the volume of my voice super much. Hang on, let me check thaumaturgy. I can make my voice 3 times louder than it normally is, but I don't know if that's enough to hear him. How long ago did he leave?
Couldn't have been for a couple hours. He's not going to travel very fast. Unless...
Even a couple hours, that's going to be a lot further than 3 times my normal shouting can reach. Yeah, I don't have anything that'll let me make immediate contact right now. All we can really do is just pick up a trail and then follow it when we get a chance.
Yeah. Alright. Let me finish a couple more drinks, though.
Alright. I'll get a head start on all this then. I'll head over and arrange to buy a couple rooms for everyone.
Okay.
For about, just one night for now. We can always rent more rooms later if we need to.
Yeah.
So how expensive will that be?
1 gold a room here.
Alright, then I'll then I'll do 3 rooms, 1 for each of us, and pass over a plat and ask for change back.
Yep.
So that's 7 new gold I have.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I'm up to 8 gold, 99 plat, 4 to silver, 5 copper.
Yes. You set them up some rooms. Yong continues to drink for a little bit.
Yep.
She doesn't go past her limit, she goes to her limit, so she doesn't actually have to make any kind of rolls. She's just a little buzzed to push out mostly anxiety.
Okay, yep. Locke is going to, just for his own sake, he's going to take out that little bit of gum he has with his eyelash in it. He's going to roll around a bit until the eyelash disappears, and when the eyelash disappears, he's also going to disappear, and he is invisible for 1 hour.
Okay. Yong, what's Riven doing?
I suggested to Riven that she should rest. It's up to her if she does that or not.
She grumbles and I guess goes to bed.
Okay. All right. Once we're sure that she's done that, I'll turn back to Yong.
Okay, I'm mostly invisible for my own sake. Kind of scrawny. Don't want to get mugged. Could you just lead me to where you were talking to when he futzed off, or was that here?
I saw him on the edge of town. On the right side of town. So...
Alright, could you take me to that edge then, and we can split up, scout out a bit, and then reconvene, I don't know, center of town?
Yeah.
Right at this market stall here.
Alright.
Yep.
Alright, where does she take me?
She takes you over here to this building here. And on basically opposite side of the town from where you guys were, just a little further down into the corner.
Alright. This the spot?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, I heard he was leaving. Or I heard that he had left, I guess. And I asked which direction he went. This way? The blacksmith shop and doors are over here, by the way. She points to the building you just walked past. But they're probably all asleep now, especially the freaking prospector. I did not really want to talk to them anymore.
We can poke the one that isn't the prospector in the morning. You might know something.
Yeah.
Any information is useful, so... I'll go ahead and sweep north. Why don't you sweep south, and we'll reconvene at that. We'll still go around, check everything, and then meet back up there. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
What precisely are you looking for, Locke?
Tracks that I can identify as oaks, any notable signs. I'll periodically be spamming detect magic, since I can do that without needing spell slots, just to see if I notice anything out of the ordinary or alarming.
Mm-hmm.
being very methodical and meticulous in this search, so.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I'm searching for tracks. Would that be a survival check?
Yep.
Okay, good. I have a +3 in that. 18.
Nice. Okay. So, how far out were you going?
I'm starting just at the edge of town, but like if I don't find anything initially, I'll go further and further out with multiple sweeps until my hour is up on invisibility.
Okay.
So some of them sort of zigzagging back and forth and being slow about it. I imagine I'll probably make it say 90 to 120 feet before that invisibility wears off and I gotta come back.
Yeah. So it's a good ways out away from town.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You find, sort of a, I'll go with it. It's ominous enough.
Oh boy.
You find that there's like a bush, one of the bushes off the edge of the road, and you find that this is obviously a place where there's been a bit of a fight or a scuffle of some sort, very sort of physical, some sort of fight, and you find sort of discarded and sitting in like on the edge of one of the branches of the bush, that particular bush, you find hanging from the bush oak leaf holy symbol.
Oh no.
I'm going to go ahead, light up my hand with the Eldritch Blast energy, press my palm into the ground, and just leave like a little deteriorated palm print there, so I have a sign to look back for, like for a spot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I'm going to take the holy symbol, and I'm gonna search around the area a bit more for anything else, anything more specific.
Okay.
Would I roll anything at this point?
Sure. Roll Arcana.
Oh boy. And remember, I'm also occasionally spamming detect magic.
Right, that's why I'm having you roll Arcana. It's very residual. It's not as if it's in a effect that's like happening right now. But it's very sort of residual, as if it sort of had passed through here, so to speak. You find a trace of magic in and amongst that area where that scuffle was. And it is necromancy in nature.
Okay, then.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, alright,
Not good. Not good.
Yeah, no kidding!
Oh god.
Alright, anything else at all before my invisibility wears out?
Nope.
Okay.
Not in the immediate vicinity.
Okay. Let's see here. Then I am going to very quickly return to the center of town to meet back up with Yong.
Hmm?
Yep, is she there when I arrive?
Oh yeah, she is.
Okay, I'll sort of wave as I'm approaching, take one to catch my breath. Then I'll hold up the holy symbol. Found this. Bush.
That's... Find anything else?
Just signs of physical altercation and faint residue of necromantic energy. Not much.
Necromancy?
Some necromantic energy. I don't know if there are a lot of spells in that school, so
I don't know if it was like corpse raising or just a necrotic blast. I don't know. Just faint traces. Couldn't nail down anything specific. What do you make of this?
Someone got him. Had to. Oak wouldn't go anywhere without his holy symbol.
So he was attacked and hauled off. Someone must have seen it, don't you think? There are a few houses nearby.
Maybe?
We have the holy symbol, so we've got his scent at least. Hollis can track him. He is good at that, right? A dog?
I would assume so. I mean, he's a puppy, but maybe. We also have Riven. Riven might not necessarily be an animal outright, but she's good at tracking as well.
She is a hunter, yeah, alright. Well, on the one hand, I do think Riven needs to get her rest, but on the other hand, if Oak's been taken, is it really wise of us to sit around and rest?
Cut back to Riven just half in bed, just snoring loudly.
Yeah.
Don't shift. All right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Do you think of anyone who would actually want to nab him like that? Does he have any enemies that you know of?
Not exactly. Did he ever tell you, anything about his own past in your travels or anything?
No, I sort of spotted him getting high once, and he's alluded to being scared of other people getting hurt on his watch, but he's never really alluded to his own past to me very much. Never really gone into it. I never asked. I have my own secrets. Everyone does. It's not my place to pry.
Right. Not my place to say either. But yes. Especially if there's some sort of necromancy involved. Can I carry the holy symbol for now?
Yeah, sure. I'll pass it over to her. I marked the spot where I found all of this with a little palm print in the grass so we can find it easily enough.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we do? Do we rest now, or do we just...
I mean,
It's
we
already
can at least
sleeping,
wait
so
on Riven to get some degree of rest. I don't know how well I'll be able to sleep myself, but
All right.
if it's who I think it is, then they're not going to outright kill him.
All right, then. Let's get back to
I
the
don't
tavern
want
and
to
get some
imagine
rest.
what they would do instead, but they're not going to kill him.
All right, let's get some rest. First light, we're going after him.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right. Locke's gonna head back to his room. As soon as he's there, he's going to, before he turns in, he's going to sit on the edge of his bed, pull out Vindsvept's book, and hold up his hand and start conjuring up all of the dark energy again of his Eldritch Blast. Close his eyes, focus, and just mutter to the book. I could probably use a bit of advice right about now. I'll let that linger for a second, dispel the Eldritch Blast, and then turn in for the night and hope for a response, I guess.
Yep. But we will do something with Riven first for her waking up.
Yeah, okay.
So you wake up from your restful sleep, something?
Rest? Question mark.
I don't
Yeah.
know. She was still in her armor. It's uncomfortable.
So like your sword stuff all fucking over. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so you wake up, massive, well, not necessarily massive headache, but a good solid headache.
She'll get up, feed Hollis, and then I guess make her way down to the bar room or whatever of a tavern.
Alrighty. Going down into the tavern itself, you find you find Yong asleep at the bar.
Go figure.
Not necessarily passed out per se, because she's not like slumped and on the floor. She's just actually like resting with her like with her arms and her head on her arms on the counter itself.
Riven goes and like gently touches her shoulder.
Huh?
I take it you fell asleep down here.
Yeah. Yeah. Make a perception check, Riven. Which would it still be a disadvantage? You have a hangover.
No. It's not the alcohol is gone. She just has a headache.
Yeah.
21.
21. Yeah. Young's face is red.
You okay? Are you okay?
No. Not. I'm worried.
About Oak?
So you remember last night?
All I know is he left town.
Yeah. And with your 21 perception from before, you also notice that she is currently clutching in her hand, which she's wearing the gauntlets, by the way. She's clutching in her hand Oak's holy symbol.
Is that his?
Yeah.
Did you find anything else?
Traces of necromancy magic. Well, I didn't find it, Locke did. Did Oak tell you anything? He didn't say that he told Locke anything, but did he tell you? Like, about his past or anything like that?
I'm trying to remember. Did he?
No. He told you
No.
much the same. You know much the same that Locke did.
I don't know much.
Oak. It's not necessarily my place to say, but Oak has not had the best past with necromancy. It's why he decided to become a cleric. To prevent people from getting hurt. To prevent people from being controlled.
Would I have to roll Arcana for something? Like, would I know that there's like some necromancy aspects in being a cleric?
You could roll Arcana.
Because
Yeah.
I know clerics have some necromancy spells.
Yeah, they can.
18.
Not- So yeah, there's a flare of undead and necromancy based things in the cleric's repertoire. You also would know the obvious thing, of course, that clerics, by their very nature, have the capacity to just push and expel undead away from them.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases even destroy it that way. There are some strings of that in among cleric stuff, but it's not generally commonplace.
Yeah.
And it's certainly not the type of cleric Oak is.
Right, precisely.
It's
Like-
probably
like-
more
like-
like cleric
like
of the
that?
grave.
Yeah, or a death domain cleric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Locke just suggested that maybe we go out and, try to track him. You're good at that. We can sort of try to track which way he went and maybe go out there and find him. But you needed your rest first, and you don't exactly have anyone to heal away a hangover.
Yeah, speaking of, what if we get in trouble? We don't exactly have anyone to help heal us in a fight.
No, not really. That's...
So, do we want to take that risk? Because...
What do we do otherwise? Leave Oak to whatever he's into? Find somebody
No.
to...
Not leave him. I mean, we could try to find someone. But
You want to just find someone else to be a cleric so that you don't worry about, going on a suicide mission to try to save him. I see. Okay.
I just want all of us to, if there is necromancy on, I want to make sure that we all get out alive.
Me too. We have to do something. And it starts with tracking him down.
It starts by waking up Locke. She goes,
That too. Meanwhile,
That too. Meanwhile, with me and Cthulhu.
Cthulhu land.
so, you and your
Cthulhu's a great
wonderful...
old one. He's amazing like Cthulhu.
Yeah, you and your wonderful dreamscape land. You find you find yourself once again in that that sort of swampy willow tree effect that you were before.
All right.
Yeah, you're sort of in that space. And you're... What do you do? You find yourself in your dreamscape in that space.
I'm gonna look around for any sign of Vindsvept's giant fuck off eye.
Okay.
Aw.
Looking around for a moment, you see it like through the willows of the trees, so to speak, the hanging down vines and things. And then you hear that same, wispy, echoey voice. You need something, Locke.
Yes, some advice would be really grand right about now. It's a little out of my element. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You're always watching, aren't you?
Yes.
Do you know what we're getting into? Figure if you're watching me all the time, I imagine you can also see things I can't.
I can.
Then can you tell me anything that will help us here? You want me to get stronger, but if I walk into this blind, my chances of dying are much higher, and I can't get stronger if I'm dead.
Oak is in danger, of course. You know this.
Pretty easy to deduce that, yeah.
The person that has found him is someone from Oak's past.
Figured that out from what Yong was saying.
You will have to be ready to deal with the undead.
How powerful is the person we're going to be dealing with?
His strength and magic is perhaps comparable to your own. You will find great difficulty in your fight with him. But you must risk it if you want to bring Oak back.
That I do. Is there anything else you can tell me that might help us on this? A more concrete direction so we're not fumbling around blindly for a trail?
You'll find a trail. The shambling folk did hide their exit.
Kind of pause for a second and then sort of lift up one of my hands to sort of let the Eldritch Blast energy swirl around my hand again and just kind of ask a bit more timidly,
How am I doing?
You're doing well, Locke. Are you gaining confidence in yourself?
When I first met these people, I wouldn't have leapt at the chance to go and save any of them, even if I considered them my friends, so... I think so.
And you're making strategies in fights as well.
Byproduct of being on the run. I've had to think ahead.
I am proud of you.
Just hoping I can keep it that way.
I'll dispel the Eldritch Blast energy and kind of take a deep breath.
If there's
Yep.
anything else you can tell me, I should probably wake up then.
And more or less as you're thinking / saying that, you find yourself back in your bed.
Bang, 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 bang on the door.
Fall right out of bed.
Yeah.
Give 1 second. I'll shamble over, open it up. I got like bags under my eyes. I look like a fucking zombie.
Yeah. Oh, Riven. How's your head?
It hurts. It's time to go.
Yeah, I figured. All right, 1 sec. I'll kind of get my shit together. And then head down to meet up with the others down below.
Yong
Alright.
is actually leaning outside the doorway to the tavern as you guys make it downstairs.
Yeah, I guess we all head outside.
Yep.
All right, so I had the feeling that whoever took him didn't exactly make any great strides to cover up their exit. Considering what we found at the scene, that stands to reason, so I'll lead the way to the site. From there, probably should fall to Riven to do the tracking.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right.
And I will start leading the group that way.
Alrighty.
And we follow.
Yep.
Wherever I put my handprint.
Yep. You find that pretty quickly, pretty easily. Is Hollis coming with?
Where is Hollis going to stay?
That's a good point.
So yeah, Hollis is forced to come with us.
Alright. So you make your way on the outskirts, making it off to the spot where Locke made his handprint in the ground. Riven, you see this nice sort of black scarred handprint in the ground next to a bush.
I'll quickly point down and say, that's actually mine. It was just a way so I could easily locate the spot.
Ooh. Okay. This is actually... Okay. I can actually do this.
What you doing, Riven?
Okay, first I'm going to look for tracks.
Roll survival.
Wait, no, that's only... Wait, hold on. I'm
What's
trying to
up?
remember what favorite to train does for me.
You have
It's
advantage on
protect
you have advantage on tracking in a forest. This is a loose forest, so you have advantage. Yes.
Ah, shit, 14.
Okay.
It's better than 9.
Okay. So 14. You sort of look around the area and around the bush. It takes you a little bit, and it's early part of the morning, and you have a headache, so like the sun's beaming down, and it's not really helping your headache. But you do find tracks, and they were a little over 20-30 feet further out, sort of away from where Locke could see from his vantage point where he found the bush initially. But you do see, basically it looks like, drag marks in the somewhat looser dirt that's on the edge over here.
And we're dealing with a necromancer, you think?
Necromancer and his undead. Yes, I can say that with at least some certainty now.
Undead?
Undead. I can say that with some degree of certainty. I'll kind of pat my black book, which is still in its satchel. That's worrying.
Riven's gonna sit there and touch the ground, like kneel down.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of instinctively went to go grab her locket, but remember she left it at the apothecary, and then she just put her hand back, her other hand back, and then she just closes
You
her
took
eyes.
you took your locket with you.
No, I didn't. I left it on the counter.
I can vouch for that. She said she left it on the counter.
Oh, okay.
Because again, it was originally Khal, so she left it there.
Yeah, okay.
And she whispers and be like, "All right, my leaky. You want me to start fully believing in you? I could really use some help. Not help. I could really use some guidance." And she casts Primal Awareness. And she'll cast, since she's in her favorite, I'm guessing it's 6 miles. And she's going to look for undead, and she's expending 1 spell slot. So it'll be a minute. She's just kind of looking for, seeing if there's any undead in the general direction in front of her. I guess.
And it's within how far? 6 miles? Wow.
Well, it says, or within up to 6 miles if you are in your favorite
terrain. Yeah, what you are. Yeah. So there is a presence of undead way out towards the edge of your peripheral of your awareness of that. Maybe just on the edges of that 5 to 6 mile mark. And it's roughly north, which is the same direction that the dragging is going.
Got him. Shall we?
Shall.
Raven starts taking off.
Oh dear, running. Locke's gonna follow as best as he can.
Also, Riven is going to pick up Hollis and takes off.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
And
So,
Yong is following
be on our-
behind.
Yeah.
Alright.
We're on our way.
Yep.
To save the day.
Okay. So.
Oh. Actually, Riven doesn't know where they are.
No. But you know they're
There's
within...
undead and within... near us.
And we have a trail to follow, so we can infer that that's where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is in within a 6 mile radius from where you are,
And the drag marks lead kind of this direction. Okay, let's go this way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So,
Yay! We're on
Off.
an adventure to rescue mission.
off
Let's
to
hope we
save
don't
your wayward cleric who something happened to him. Yay. Alrighty.
Yep.
Good job in circumventing your potential fight with Buzzo.
It would have been horrible. Riven would have been all over the place.
Yes, it would have been very funny.
But Locke
But-
isn't exactly keen on having a fight, because fights attract attention, and he doesn't want that.
Well,
Right.
that's why he was trying to keep you out of the tavern, away from the real Yong, for one, and also because he was going to potentially take you further away from town, just in case something
That's why
was...
there was no I just remembered that's why there was no strength behind the hand grabbing.
Yep.
Because he couldn't stop her.
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh, this person's actually weak.
So
Yeah.
who's doing the outro?
Off to say, Voke. Yep. We will end it here. It was great fun. This session was fun.
Very much
Mhm.
so. Locke
Um,
got to do a
Still don't
Skylar
know
thing.
whether or not Riven's alignment changes yet.
And to be fair, the way I've started looking at it as alignment is a good baseline, but however your character develops after that, just don't pay any attention to your alignment. Just play what seems right for your character.
yeah.
I've kind
Yeah,
of stopped giving a
point.
damn about alignment at this point for that very reason.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, with that, let's see. Brian do the first part. I will do the last part.
Okay. Next time on Shadows of Gradiriel.
We get to see what's going on with our lovely furball cleric, and switch gears from focusing the story on Riven to Oak? Question mark.